What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Before I get on with this video, I must say Peterbilt gang is in effect. My wife made that in a yellow just to kind of go along with the Caterpillar yellow on this jacket. You know, what's funny is, there's a couple other people at Prime that wanted to get like some Peterbilt logos in like hot pink or North Carolina blue. My wife is up here worried about, copyright infringement and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, who the hell you think you are, Dapper Dan or some shit? If you don't know who Dapper Dan is, just go ahead and Google him, and it'll bring up some old school hip hop type stuff. But anyway, just been sitting at home trying to prepare my mind and my truck for this training experience that I'm going to be going on pretty quick. I like to be over prepared when I go out, so I go out with all kinds of stuff. I go out with like 4 duffel bags full of clothes and all this kind of stuff. And between that and hand washing my drawers and t-shirts, I never end up having to stop and wash clothes on the road. So I'm going to have to pare that down a little bit and maybe, stop here and there and wash some clothes while I'm out. But, man, it is a lot to kind of think about. I'm trying to prepare my mind because, these team loads are basically loads that I really don't like to do. I'll be honest with you. All them team loads go to places I really don't like to go. California, Oregon, Washington, New Jersey, New York, New York City area, all that, Florida possibly. So wrapping my mind around doing some loads that I really don't like doing. And a little bit of the sleep deprivation that I can kind of prepare myself for. But, just kind of thinking about everything that I'm going to be doing. I plan on taking somebody from PSD all the way through TNT. And, I did my training out at Salt Lake City on the pad. And by the time I left Salt Lake City, I was pretty much training people that couldn't get it. Before I left, I think the only maneuver that was hard for me to really convey to other people would have been the parallel parking type situation. But I think if I really concentrate on trying to actually help somebody rather than do it myself, I'll be able to kind of pass that on. But as far as the truck goes, trying to pare things down in the truck, there's things that, I typically don't carry in my side box or in my, under my bunk that, I probably will now. So I've been trying to reorganize stuff like that and just kind of pare things down a little bit because, I do have kind of the aspect of you bring it, you sleep with it, but I do want to give whoever trains with me enough space to kind of have, a little bit of room for themselves. So I've been trying to kind of go through things, see what I really need, what I don't need, things like that, and just kind of pare things down. But it has been weighing heavy on my mind just for a number of different reasons. I mean, the worst thing that would happen is for me to come out here and be a horrible trainer. So I am very self-conscious about trying to put myself in the position where that's not going to be the case. But you never know. I've never trained as far as driving goes, but we're going to give it the good old college try. And, I had spoke with somebody and they'd asked if I was going to do the whole PSD and TNT thing. Now, it really kind of depends. If my fleet manager really just wants me to do TNT, I may do that, but the reason they were saying that was the money's made on TNT, not PSD. And like I was saying, if it was about the money, I wouldn't be doing any of this at all, to be honest with you. I wouldn't be even thinking about training. I'm training, honestly, to pay it forward. Like I said, somebody had to train me, but I kind of figure that if I train somebody from PSD, by the time we get into TNT, we're going to be ready to roll. We're going to be ready to put in them 10-hour drive shifts and stuff like that. I don't do the you know, if you happen to be watching my video and I come up as a possible trainer, I don't do the 8.5 hours and all this kind. Listen, we run our clocks out and let it all wash out in the end, because I've literally tried doing the, you know, running my clock out, and it's never happened. And well, it may have happened like maybe once or something like that, but I just can't do the 8.5 hour type situation and over here trying to mind fuck my hours and stuff like that. I'd rather just run what I got and worry about it later, because it always seems like there's that day or two when you're not running that long where your hours catch up with you anyway. So, and as far as teaming goes, you know, unless you want to run 8 hours and then park somewhere and then sit for a couple hours, you know, that's just not the way I was trained. And when I was teaming, that's not the way we ran. You know, when I was training and teaming, you know, there were times when I was like, hey, listen, we got, you know, remember, these are prime trucks at 65 miles an hour. But let's say it was, you know, we got 1,250 miles and I'm trying to get there in 2 drive shifts. You know, there were times when the switch was occurring with, you know, 4 or 5 minutes left on the clock on an off ramp or something like that, you know, and switching out in 15 minutes there, because I've just never been a proponent of the 8.5 hour. You know, I tried to do it as a solo driver, and it just never really seemed to benefit me to do it that way. So I'm just, you know what they say, if you're a runner, let them run. That's how I do it. We'll worry about the resets and all that stuff if it becomes a problem. But one of my philosophies in life, don't worry about it till it's something to worry about. I'm not going to worry about, you know, my recaps and all this stuff until it's time to worry about it. And I've never had an issue with that. But that's about it, you know. I mean, thinking about going out and getting some bedding, you know what I'm saying? Getting some bedding for my future co-driver. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that while I'm out here, or I'm going to go out to Walmart when I'm in Springfield, picking up my co-driver and kind of letting them pick whatever they want or whatever. But you know, these are just things that are going through my mind. You know, one thing that's going through my mind, and this is a tip that nobody told me about, and Eric and Jenna over at Driver's Lineup just went through this same problem. If you're not familiar with their channel, go check them out. It's Driver's Lineup. I'm gonna leave a link to their channel up in this little iCard right there. Anyway, what I did, which was a mistake, and I didn't know any better, you know, still kind of a rookie type situation, but I had some bottles of anti-gel in my side box, and when I was running through that minus 20 something, you know, I'm figuring if it's anti-gel, it shouldn't freeze up or anything like that, or, you know, get into like a situation where, well, let's just put it this way. One of my bottles busted open and leaked all in my side box and everything, and that shit looks like a headache to clean up. And I know Jenna just cleaned up their truck out in Springfield when they were there, and that's one thing that I want to do, because going into these summer months, I probably will start using that side box a little bit more once I get it cleaned out. So that's going to save me a little bit of room under the bunk, but I really don't like to have a bunch of stuff under my bunk. A lot of people are complaining about why their APU's not working and all that stuff. You know why it's not working? Because you got too much shit under your bunk. You're not getting that circulation in there. So just a little tip you might want to take. But anyway, that's about it. Outside of the getting prepared to train, you know, I've done a couple of videos for my cooking channel. One of them, it was just kind of bad. I'm going to just tell you. Chicken wings, I mean, it wasn't like horrible, but lighting was off, stuff like that. I forgot to change the settings on my camera. But listen, it is what it is. And then I just did what was that? A 1 skillet garlic and lemon chicken recipe, so we got that one. And then I just saw another easy recipe, you know, and I'm just trying to go with the easy stuff while I'm back here. But it's one skillage, I forgot what it's called. I kind of hijacked this recipe for somebody, but I am gonna note my sources on that video. But it's like a shrimp burrito skillet bowl or something like that. Anyway, it looked good, so I'm gonna knock that out as my next video. And other than that, I'm just gonna be chilling. Got the truck at the house today, so we're gonna go through that, get everything cleaned up and ready to go. So Monday when I'm ready to roll out, everything is good. So anyway, if you happen to be a trainer, in the description below, or have trained, you don't have to be a current trainer, in the description below, just leave some little tips, you know, maybe even questions that you might ask, you know, somebody when they come on your truck, or things that you tell them when they come on your truck. Any of that stuff would be appreciated. Any little gems that you could drop on me in regards to the training process would be appreciated, because I know my heart is in the right place. I'm just not sure that I'll be a good trainer. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But anyway, rather than rambling on, I just wanted to stop in, let you guys know, thinking of, you know, this training's been on my mind. I'm getting prepared, you know, my mind and my truck ready to pull this experience off. And that's about it. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.